July 1995. It was a rainy day in Tokyo. As usual, I had been given a case. My client began by showing me some pictures and a couple of tapes. In the crime-ridden city of Chicago, bounty hunters Raleigh and May are in full swing. Raleigh Vincent is a sharpshooter of unparalleled skill. Her most impressive trick is a shot she calls the thumb snatcher. You'd never guess from her adorable little face that Minnie Mae Hopkins is an expert with explosives. Together, they're known as the Gunsmith cats. With spectacular art and character designs by creator Kenichi Sonata, Gunsmith Cats has now become a stunning new original animation series for home video. Featuring awesome visuals and sound, the spectacular OVA is packed with some of the most dynamic animation ever produced, with fine details so heavily researched that they could pass for the real thing. Gunsmith Cats. The whole story is about to become clear.
もともと友達のところに頼まれた同人誌用に描いたカラーイラストっていうのがあって、まあ女の人と小さい女の子組み合わせでイラスト描いたんですけどね。でバックが寂しいんでガンスミスキャッツで適当に思いつきでタイトルつけたんですよ。でそれはそれで忘れてたんですけど、講談社にネームとか持ち込みするときに、このネームはちょっといまいち良くないと言われて、で参考に持ってった画集をなんか編集さんが見たときに「この絵の感じ面白いからこれでなんかどうだ」とか言われたんですけど、それはさっきのガンスミスキャッツのイラストだったわけで、その時は具体的なものは何もなかったんですけど、でその時はもうアートミック、辞めた直後で、アートミックではライディング・ビーンっていう作品を作った後だったんですよ。ああいう世界観がもともと好きで描きたかったんで、でタイトルからしても矛盾しないし、これで膨らませてみようと思ったんですね。アメリカアクション映画に対しての思い入れだけで描いてるようなところがあるから日本もんはみんなダサいですし、小学生中学生の頃は太陽にほえろは結構好きだったんですけど、あれじゃあちょっといくらなんでもということなんですね。それにもともとアニメーションのルパン三世の一番古いテレビシリーズは好きだったんですよ。ああいうのも好きで昔から 車とか銃とか描き始めてて、そういうトラウマみたいなものがあったんで、なんかこういうもんじゃないと面白くないと思い込んでたんです。
This is the illustration that really began Gunsmith Cats. These are the leads of Gunsmith Cats, Rally and May. Those familiar with Mr. Sonata's current rendition of Rally and May may notice that, in this conceptual drawing, Rally is portrayed as a more mature woman, while May looks even more like a little kid. And now, an introduction to the world of Gunsmith Cats. Unlike most comics or animation, the emphasis of this series has always been on maintaining an illusion of reality. Besides the facial expressions and proportions, take notice of the detail in the clothes the characters are wearing. While producing the final character designs, the artists are assisted by professional fashion designers. This is Raleigh Vincent, the series lead. Despite her profession, she tries to maintain an aura of ladylike grace and dignity. However, she's not just an expert driver and markswoman. She's a little fanatical on both subjects, and sometimes her enthusiasm gets a little out of control, resulting in some of Gunsmith Cat's most amazing action sequences. Occasionally, however, she shows off her sexy, feminine side. These key conceptual drawings will aid the animators in maintaining a consistent look for Raleigh throughout the entire animated series. As you can see, this is one woman you don't want to mess with. She's cool, competent, and professional. Raleigh's partner is Minnie Mae Hopkins. May is, to put it bluntly, quite a character. Although she looks and acts like a young girl, May is actually a 17-year-old veteran of the streets. Sweet and sexy, her mischievous grin hides the soul of a true explosives fanatic. May says that she gets a rush every time she blows something up, which often makes her even more dangerous than Raleigh, because once May starts throwing grenades, nobody is safe. Oh yes, and there is one more lethal lady who deserves an introduction here. This is Becky Farah, an information specialist. She assists Raleigh and May using her computer and specialized databases, but only for a price. The animated Gunsmith Cats also contains a number of supporting characters. Some have appeared in the Gunsmith Cats comic book, others are entirely new. As the title would indicate, guns and other weapons play a big role in the world of Gunsmith Cats. From the past to the present, from pistols to machine guns all the way to bazookas, there are over 100 props. There are so many varied weapons used in the multiple action scenes that one could actually use the film as a detailed encyclopedia of firearms.
やっぱ銃とか車に関して、まあ一般人が見ても楽しいけどオタクが見ると余計楽しいという、 そういうのがまあこの作品の見方みたいなところがあるんで、だからその辺の深いところをなんか、まあ、ちゃんと抑えるような作品にしてほしいと思ってるんですけどね。車の音とか銃の音とか扱う時のまあ演出の仕方とか、あんまり一般人の感覚で作られるとちょっと薄いものになっちゃうんじゃないかと。根は濃い方面の作りでしっかりと作って、でも表面的なところは売りも考えてあざとい画面作りをしてほしいと思ってるんですけどね。
The city of Chicago, home to the Gunsmith cats. To get a feel for the environment in which the show is set, the principal members of the staff made several trips to America to scout for possible background locations. This is the staff's first visit to Chicago. The coordinator for this visit, happily, was a female detective. Can it be a coincidence? It's too good to be true. The excited staff headed to its first destination, an actual Chicago gun shop. Incredibly, the weapons on display are real, something that would be impossible in gun-controlled Japan. Japanese gun fans must make do with books and detailed mock-ups, but since Raleigh Vincent is a gunsmith, the staff has to get an idea of how the real thing handles. To the Japanese, the fact that anyone in America can own and carry a gun is a source of endless fascination. A simple walk down the street feels different when you know that anyone you meet might be armed. An actual shooting range is located at the back of the store. When real bullets punched through the target, the staff's perception of guns changed yet again. And some things about American gun laws are simply too hard to understand. After going to the gun shop, they went out to scout possible locations. With a population of 3 million people, Chicago is the third largest city in the United States. Winds from Lake Michigan blow through the buildings, giving Chicago its nickname, the Windy City. Chicago, the city of the untouchables. Chicago, the city of canals, steel bridges, and the blues. Since profiling America is the key to the show, the staff were careful to take many pictures documenting the look of the city. The highlight of this location tour was a visit to a real police academy. The staff hoped to raise the level of realism in the show by meeting the people who actually fight crime in the Windy City. The staff was beginning to wonder what kind of connections their guide was using, but they were successful in setting up a visit. They listened carefully to the information on armor and the handling of guns. They got a feel for them by actually touching them. The people at the academy were very cooperative with these unusual visitors. The number of locations visited was unheard of for an animated show. However, the fruits of the staff's enthusiastic research are quite evident in the finished animation.
But this is quite a classic. It's kind of Al Capone.
Right.
Okay. It's a full automated ring. In other words, someone controls that thing, moves the target down, and bring the target in. When we get into our combat shooting target.
The The scenes you are looking at are pictures taken by the art director. After returning to Japan, he was able to successfully transfer the images to artboards. In this way, the locations that were visited were vividly brought back to the rest of the art staff. In watching the animated films, you may notice that many of these scenes appear with only minor modifications.
「本当にグレーだったな」と本当に印象としてはグレーだったです。グレーとそれからレンガの茶色ですね。それからやっぱ空の青、本当にこの3色が基本だったかなと。
晴れても曇ってもグレーなんだ。
だから茶色によったグレー、それからもうほとんど黒に近いグレーとか、もっと汚い街だと思ってたんですけど、意外と綺麗な街だったんですよね。
だけどグレーなんだ。
グレーだったですね、イメージとして。いや、話自体はもうそれこそ銃と車の話ですよね。だから美術はどうっていうか、もう本当にそのシカゴっていう街を表現すればいいかなと、アメリカの街だっていうのが分かればいいかなと思って、本当のそのまんまのシカゴの背景、その空気感とかそういうのを感じてもらえたらいいかなと。日本でもない、ヨーロッパでもない、アメリカの中で本当にシカゴっていう街を見てくれれば成功かなと思っています。
In Gunsmith Cats, action is everything. Here are a few details that enhance the action scenes. Rowley's car is a Shelby GT500 and is featured in most of the characters' scenes. Data on this car is hard to find, so the staff did the best they could with the design model. A Czechoslovakian CZ Model 75, Rowley's favorite handgun, was also created by the design staff. This gun is one of Kenichi Sanada's favorites, so its actions are extremely well detailed. Detailed sketches are produced for all the action sequences. The CZ Model 75. Length 206 millimeters. Weight 1,000 grams when empty. The magazine holds 15 9mm bullets in a single load. The mechanism uses the short recoil blowback method. Since the frame and slide are so short, it is known as a short reel. Though this Czechoslovakian manufactured gun has not been on the market for 20 years, it still has many followers. It is a rarity, a phantom gun which collectors and fanatics search for desperately. But scarcity isn't the only reason for the M75's allure. It is a gun many enthusiasts would love to own. Its secrets lie in its easy use, high quality, and the assembly techniques used for its parts. Some people revere this gun like a samurai sword. The secret to this phenomenon may come from the unique metal alloy used in its construction. The makers of the M75 were Czechoslovakia's premier gunsmiths. After the region was merged into the Western Bloc, the company's individuality faded, but the original first edition stubbornly holds its allure. car Raleigh drives, a rare 1967 Shelby GT500, plays a very active role in the show. If you know much about cars, you may have already noticed this car originated from the 1960s Ford Mustang. The creator of the Cobra line, Carroll Shelby, sought to make the GT500 a hotter version of the Mustang. Three things stand out on this car: its bonnet, the body sides, and the intake system in the side and the rear quarter filters. The front-mounted fog lights in the grille make the car look unique, not to mention intimidating. In addition, the tires used were originally designed for racing, which had a tendency to make drivers of the Shelby run a little wild. The GT500's image changed the Mustang's popular compact silhouette to a rougher, wider vehicle. Under the hood is the machine's heart, a huge Cobra 428. 428 cubic inches. This 90-degree V8 7-liter engine can pull over 350 horsepower. It is a car that is born to race. And when it comes to performance, the GT500's reputation is legendary. The interior is very dark and Spartan, but a hint of American luxury designs can be found. The RPM indicator is gauged to show up to 8,000 RPM. Pedals make the heel-to-toe technique comfortable. A Cobra on the steering wheel? The GT500's cockpit has that something that makes a driver feel the very best. An actual GT500 was recorded in Hollywood for all the sequences in which this amazing road machine appears in Gunsmith Cats. In fact, almost all of the sound effects in Gunsmith Cats were recorded using the actual items.
まあ、主人公がガンスミスというかガンオタクみたいな書き方をしてるんで、まあ、その辺とても銃にこだわるような、まあ、キャラクターにしておかないとまずいなと思ったんですよ。まず、まあ、ドライバーだったらある種の車にこだわるとか、まあ、物書きにしても道具にこだわるとかそういうのがありますから、とにかく強くこだわらせた方がキャラクターが強くなるなと思って、で自分が当時一番、まあ、優れてると思った銃を選んだわけですけど、それよりちょっと前に月刊ガンっていう雑誌、結構古いですね、1970年代だったか、70年代の終わりあたりに永田一郎っていう当時ガンのレポーターだった人間がなんかものすごくなんかこういう銃がいいぞっていう記事書いたんですよ。でそれを読んで、まあ、非常に共感して、これは非常に理にかなったレポートで、これはなるほどすごいなと思って、でそれでまあラリーの、まあ、銃にすることに決めたんですけどね。書き始めると結構書きづらいものがあって
ですよね。
もともとカーアクション映画に関して、まあ、インプリンティングされた作品っていうのが 1970年代のアメリカアクション映画だったわけで、で自分の作品に出す車もやっぱしその1970年代の車のデザインがかっこいいなと思ってたんですよ。アメ車の四角いでかいやつ、やっぱりムスタング系になったんですけどね、当時映画ではブリッドとか、バニシングポイントとかバニシングイン60とか、まあいろいろありまして、それらに出てきたのが大概ムスタング系だったんですよ。その中で特になんかスペック的にも偉そうというかすごそうな車を探したら、まあ、あったわけで、それを出してみたんですけど、
基本的に例えばシェルビーに対する思い入れみたいな部分ではない、
まあ、特にそういうわけではないです。まあコブラという名前がついてるあたりも強そうだし、
これでも GT500 って実際国内だとほとんどないですよね。これは資料的なところってどういうふうに。
いやだからアメ車のそういう記事がたくさん載ってるとか、そういう本を見て書いてるわけですけど、
あ、そうなんだ。
まあそれでも少ないですけどね。
少ないですよね。
言ってみりゃアメリカ人が日本の昔のスカイライン GTR を書こうとしてるのと似ている。
似てますね。車のタイプとしても似てますよね。基本的にはね。
マイナーの度合いから言うとサバンナかもしれないとか。
X3 ですね。
四角いサバンナありましたよね。
ありましたね。
あれもかっこよかったんですけど。
Led by the director, the head supervisors work diligently in the staff room. The task of coordinating the thousands of details that make up an animated series like Gunsmith Cats falls to the director.
まあ車は好きですけど銃の方がよく分かんないんでね、でそういう意味では最初から自分も勉強しましたから、そういう意味ではもうゼロからっていうかね、今まで変に歪んだ情報とか歪んだその好みとかじゃなくてゼロから入れましたからね、そういう意味では素直に学べたと思います。ただなんていうんですか、うんちく話にはしたくないんで、どうしてもストーリーがありますからね、だからうんちくだけ傾けてとか、俺たちはこんなに調べたんだぞっていうのが前面に出ちゃうとね、それはなんていうんですか、お話じゃなくなっちゃいますから、でその端っこにそれはねさりげなく置いてあるのが粋かなと思ってますけど、下手な嘘つけなくなりましたよね。本当はまあ日本のアニメーションでもそうですけど、実際の街が出てくることってあんまないですよね。どっかから借りてきたようなで自分たちで街を作っちゃうんですけど、で最初まあ向こうに行く前、シカゴを見てくる前まではこっちで勝手に作ってしまおうと思ってたんですよ。アメリカっぽい雰囲気っていう、僕らがその日本人が持ってるアメリカのっていうと多分ロサンゼルスとかサンフランシスコとかそういう暑い海辺の感じですよね。で実際行ってみたらやっぱりそうじゃないですからね。確かに乾燥はしてますけども、いわゆるウエストコーストの日差しっていうのとはまた違いますしね。でまた僕らが映画で知ってる情報のアメリカとは違うものがやっぱり街として存在しますから、でそういう意味ではまあ本当に有効でしたし、逆にまあ辛いのは下手な嘘つけなくなったなっていうところですね。一応1本目は銃ガンアクションで、2本目を、カーアクションで、3本目は、大団円というか、対決、最後の1対1の対決みたいな、そういう形で一応はバランスは振ってますけどね。ただまあ投資で1本の話なんで、なるべくそのテンション偏らないようにしなきゃなとは思ってますけど、まあ見て楽しんでもらえる、だから見た後に考えさせられるものっていうのはあんまり好きじゃないんで、まあ面白かったっていうものができればいいなとは思ってますけどね。で逆にもう一つ、その自分らが楽しまないとそういうものはできないと思ってますから、自分たちが楽しんでその楽しさが 仕事上でのねプロセス上での楽しさがフィルムに乗っかるといいなっていうのは思ってますけど。
These are the original drawings made by visual art director Kazuo Nagai. The feel and the air of the locations are captured on the artboards. During the action scenes and car chases, we would like you to pay extra attention to the backgrounds. In a Tokyo studio, the voice actresses for the original Japanese version of Gunsmith cats posed for publicity photos. They portray the three main characters, Raleigh, May, and Becky. All are famous among anime fans. This particular photo session is for the jacket cover of the Image album. This is not an actual soundtrack, but a separate recording of music inspired by the motion picture. The photo shoot goes along smoothly. We've decided to ask the three girls about the show.
ラリーはなんだろう、大人でもないでも子供でもない女性もしてないし男っぽくもないっていうなんかいろんな要素を持ってる子みたいなんで、でも純情なところが中に秘めてるっていう感じで、やりごたえのある役だとは思います。アクション好きなんですよ。でも私やるのは声で
どういう快感が
なんかね、なんかスカッとするような感じ、発散できるような感じがあるから私は好きなんですよ。結構こういうちょっと色っぽい役は初めてですね。あと爆弾マニアっていうかボムスペシャリスト、こういうワイルドな役はやったことないんで、楽しみです。好きな人がいてそこがすごい気に入ってるかな。一途なんだなって。まあ3人の中ではブレーン的な存在なんで、お芝居もできればある程度落ち着きを持った大人な部分が出ればなと思ってます。漫画の部分では結構ベッキーっていうのはこう引っ込んだ部分でしかこうまだ読んでる内容としてはね 1,2 巻だけでは感じてないんで、それがアニメーションになってどれだけ彼女の性格とかが全面的に出てくるのかっていうのがちょっと楽しみですよね。
Even the t-shirts and Levi's jeans worn were custom made. They really seem like the characters from the show. Don't just watch the animated Gunsmith cats, listen closely to it as well. Strong emphasis is being placed on contemporary American music. The Image songs are straight out of American jazz and top 40, vividly expressing the world of Gunsmith cats. In addition, the three main actresses perform one of the featured themes. A makeshift news conference was held in the lobby right after the recording session. And now, let's give you some astonishing facts. The opening and closing themes were composed by the former drummer of Weather Report, Peter Askins. Currently, he is actively composing and producing music in the Los Angeles area. The music is designed to remind you of an American action movie or television program.
すごい
Now, let's take a look at the opening animation. The pursuit of reality. That was the goal of this video. This special on the making of Gunsmith Cats may well give the audience a brand new way to enjoy the show. Without a doubt, the emphasis on details has definitely brought Kenichi Sanada's world to life.